the Wi-Fi, and I'm just watching it, and I'm like, yo, hi, good evening.
No, but I'm sure we're good now, ne? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we are good now. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
How are you, and how was your day?
I'm good, my dear, and yours?
My day was busy, but also good. Also very good. I
Okay.
think everybody's here. I started the live and they kicked me out. I don't know why. I had started it and they were like, something wrong with the live. It ended. So I had to start another one. But yeah, we can get
Okay,
started.
I
Welcome,
understand.
everybody. Welcome to our 14th session of Talking Books with Cat. Again, we are joined by Rudzani Khashane, and we are going to be doing a getting to know Rudzani session, meaning we get to know her as an author. So, Rudzani, kindly please introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Rudzani Khashane, Rudzani Rosemary Khashane, but my pen name is Rudzani Khashane. I'm just a simple girl that comes from a little township, rural township in Limpopo village, just outside Toyando, called Shayandima. Rudzani is a girl that loves to read and write. She's a free spirit, someone who's a chatterbox, who loves to talk. So yeah, that's Rudzani in a nutshell. Someone who loves to read, write, and talk non-stop.
Lovely, lovely. How did you find out you were an author, or how did you find out you can write, and when was it?
I I I must say, for me, it's more of being a storyteller because you know how I grew up. I grew up as a child that was bullied a lot because of my height. So for me, being imaginative sort of like was an escape for me. You know, I grew up playing, I don't know what other people call it, but in my language, in my home language, you call it maskitan, where you create characters by stones, you know, those stones. So that's how I grew up. I was that child that would be, others will be busy playing. I think I played that thing up until I was in grade 12. So I will come back, and at home somewhere at the back of our house, there was this house that they had destroyed, the house that they used to. So I will draw maybe a 3 room, something like that, pretend, play with stones, create characters with stones. So that's how it started. Then as I grew up, I began to write because of the bullying. So as I was getting to get to know myself and the self acceptance and stuff, because I'm a bit on the chubby side, and I'm short in height, so people bullied me a lot. I grew up with other kids, they didn't quite understand because others were getting taller, but I was always in the same place. So it took quite a lot for me to writing was a way for me to heal my pain. So that's how I discovered that I can write. But it was not something that I really honestly wanted to do up until a later stage where I saw others writing on Facebook. Still, I just
Mhm.
wanted to attempt, or I can do this. I can try and do my first writings on Facebook. I go back and laugh because wow, they were a mess, but people accepted me anyway. I did not edit, I did not care about the grammar. So you I go back sometimes to those pages that I owned, and I read my work and I laugh because it was a mess, to be honest. So that's how I
Yeah.
discovered.
Yeah, you really found your people. You have found your people when you go back to your old work and be like, wow, I don't know what was going on, but regardless, people were happy, meaning those were your people that loved your writing and loved you as you are. So, do your
Yeah,
friends
some of them are still with me up to this day.
lovely, very
So
lovely.
yeah, I understand. Those are my people because they're still with me.
Do your friends and family know that you write?
Yes, they do. They do.
And how have they
My
received
family
that?
even buys some books to support me. Yeah,
That
they
is very
received.
sweet.
I've received a lot of encouragement because honestly, I don't think I would be, especially from my siblings. I honestly don't think I would have made it this far if it was not the encouragement from my siblings. Because
Mm-hmm.
honestly, the industry that we're in, Kathy, it's a cutthroat industry. It's not the kindest, it's not the easiest. So,
So
yeah,
true.
I'm grateful to have that support structure.
Yeah, it's very nice and very encouraging to have support from the closest people to you. You know, sometimes I think we seek validation from our family the most. You can get all the praises from everybody else, but it doesn't hit the same as it is when it comes from close friends and families. And I really love that for you. So, what inspired the book Thicker Than Water?
Yeah, I can say I grew up watching those American movies where, one sister is popular, the other one is sort of like a book net, and then my relationship with my sisters as well. And when I first wrote that book, I also asked a few of my readers at the time to
Mhm.
to describe to me how their relationship with their siblings. So some of the things they were saying were heartbreaking, like I've not spoken to my sibling in a while, in years. I'm angry at this, at that. But then for
Mhm.
me, I don't think I'll survive without my siblings. So I wanted a beautiful story that highlighted this beautiful sisterhood, sister friendship between sisters, man. And I think I don't know what I did exactly just that.
And I think you've already mentioned it yesterday, but can you kindly please walk us through what inspired your second book, The Family Matriarch?
The family matriarch, I wanted to see how far I can, because I had this character in one of my Facebook stories, Liana the Royal Bride. Uh, the mother was sort of like soft hardcore. People loved it. So I wanted to see how far as an author, because I had never written. I usually write soft-hearted characters. I had never, as an author, written a character as strong and as hardcore as NL. So I was pushing myself out of my boundaries, my comfort zone. So I wanted to see exactly just how far I can go, and to also touch on the touchy subject of mental health.
Lovely, lovely. Can you kindly tell people where they can find your book, Thicker Than Water, and where they can find The Family Matriarch, how much it is? Just walk us through that before we continue with our questions and answers.
Okay, they can get Thicker Than Water at Bridge Books, at Book Circle Capital, on Amazon Kindle, and from me, the book retails for 250, Thicker Than Water. And the Family Metric, unfortunately, I've not taken it to Bridge Books yet, but it is at Book Circle Capital on Kindle, and you can also order it from me. It retails for 280.
Lovely, lovely. You guys will be purchasing Rudzani's work and reading more about the family matriarch. You will love it. You will love reading about Ernelo and knowing her story. So, um, what are the challenges you've faced as an author so far?
Yeah, there are a lot. Okay. Uh, when I first started writing, like I had no idea what a I wanted when I wanted to publish my first book. I had no idea what a manuscript should be like. So imagine me submitting my messy manuscript to to edit to publishers, you know. Now, I'm sorry, it's not funny, but now that I'm thinking about it,
Yeah,
to
you'd be like,
editors
hey.
and the rejection.
Yeah.
Yeah, the struggle was real. What were you thinking? I was not
Mm.
at my chat, so I submitted. It was a mess. The writing was a mess. So I submitted it. The writing, the rejection sort of like got to me. I thought maybe I wasn't good enough. I tried
Mm.
reaching out to a few authors that had done it before, but those people don't answer phones, you know. So they're not
Yeah,
really the
then.
only one or two. The others that I can mention, yeah, it's you, it's Busi, Busasikle Kumal,
Mhm.
and then I've got Uncle K, as I fondly call him, Katu Maestro.
Mm.
Katu Maestro played a huge role because I thought I was done. I had this book, I had this cover, everything. I had printed, I think, about 50 copies. Can you
Mm-hmm.
imagine that? And when I took it to this publicist, she was like, "No, this thing of yours doesn't even flow. It's a mess. They will chow you. You are going to compete with the giants of African literature. They will chow you alive." Like, you know, when someone disregards you, like takes you for granted. And okay, I went back to the drawing board. That's when I reached out to Uncle K, to Katumastro. Fortunately, we come from the same place in Shandim, so that
Mm-hmm.
we spoke, and he introduced me to my current editor. So
Mm.
imagine I had 50 copies. It's money down the drain. I spoke to my
Yeah,
editor. I
then.
had to pay money to another editor. I paid for editing. Trust, those are the mistakes that I made. And I would love other authors to avoid them. I paid for it for editing fees twice. I had copies printed,
Mm.
you
Because
know.
you're
So those are
excited to
some of,
get your book out. You
yeah,
don't
I was
know
excited.
how
I
you're
just wanted
supposed to
this.
do it.
Yeah, I
Mm.
just wanted this product out. Unfortunately, I just wanted this book out there so that I can be proud of myself. Girl, you find it despite the rejection from the publishers, despite
Mm.
you not having that much support. You did it. I wanted to give myself a pat in the back, and when it all came crumbling down, it
Mm.
was like, no, it was that breaking for me. But thank God I met Katu Maestro. He introduced me to my current editor, and my
Mm-hmm.
current editor went down. First, she helped me a lot with Thicker Than Water, but with the second book, she she was helping me mature as an author. So she was giving me ideas and letting me write. She was like, you've got to learn how to mature, to mature as an author. And thank God for her, for my editor, because she did most of the and the advantage that I have, that she's my editor. Yo, I cannot even begin to imagine. So she helped me find my voice in a way.
Mm. And there is really a lot of growth from Thicker Than Water to Family Matriarch. When you read it, you see, okay, this person has matured from what she was writing there. But girl, you were
Yes.
explaining. I wanted to reach out and say you were explaining. Like you were, why? I was reading and I was like, Rudzani, why are you explaining so much? You were explaining, Gem.
That's my, unfortunately, that's my writing style. That's how I write.
You were explaining,
That's how,
and I would laugh when, for example, let's say Paige will go to the funeral
yeah.
and everything goes well. And then when it's NLO's POV, you take us back to when her day started. I'm like, hey, girl doesn't want to miss any detail. She wants us to see. We don't get to guess who was where. We we go back and see what was going on.
Yeah,
Oh, you were explaining. But I loved it, Shem. There is so much growth from your first book. So much growth. I was
yeah,
like, I am going to tell her, Uguti, you can see the growth from the first book to the second book. Uguti, wow,
yeah.
you really grew as an
My
author.
actually that book was supposed to be out in June. No, funny thing
Mm-hmm.
is the book. So my editor was like, "Girl, if we had not had, fortunately for me, my editor and I on that day had a conversation. So she explained to
Mm-hmm.
me, I want you to do this and this. I will not let you release the book. It's my name on the stake, and you'll find another, you have got to learn how to do this. You'll find another editor who doesn't care. Should I not be able to do it for you? You just release a
Mm-hmm.
book like that. So I've got to let you do this. I'm not letting you release the book until you do all the. So we had meetings every Sunday, 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. I knew it was me and my editor. So she'll be giving me feedback. I saw the changes. Maybe we do what she'll tell me, go work on chapter 1 to 3 this week.
Mm-hmm.
She'll tell me go work on chapter 1 up until 3, and then I work on it. Sunday she gives me feedback, and then we go. That's how I worked. So that's how there was much detail, and we were not missing anything. So we were doing that every Sunday. She will tell me, hey, I see our wrist not growing, it a little bit on the page on the NLO character. You're making us so stoic. Make her show some emotion. You do see some scenes where she's showing some emotions, crying and stuff. I had made her so stoic. I wanted that angisabuluto kind of a girl, but then my editor was there advising me, tone it down here. This is what we do. This is what we do. So yeah. I thank God for my
Yeah.
editor. She was doing a good job with me.
Mm, that's good. That's good. It was really a good book and well written. I loved it. Except for the explaining,
Thank
as you
you.
know me, I don't like too detailed books. I don't like too detailed books. The explaining, I was like, okay, I see it, but I remember I was like, here, Urudzane is explaining. You explaining, Shem.
Yeah.
Um, what is the one book that you wrote and you think it's close to your heart?
It's the book that I'm currently rewriting. I wrote this book in 29. As I said, my writing it was a mess when I started writing. I think I wrote it somewhere between 2018 and 2019 when I first started writing on Facebook. It's The Imperfect Makut. I'm rewriting it right now. That book is very close to my heart. Oh, that book.
Mm.
It's about this girl Zoe. She doesn't even, spoiled those kids that rich suburban kids that are spoiled that don't even know how to make their own bed. Zoe goes out. She has a one night stand with Prince Vandile. They do their things. Some Gidli Matambo, as Ndibu would say, some Gidli
Matambo
Matambo,
Hlangana.
and then yeah, and
Then
then
Matambo
we,
Hlangana.
and then and then and then Matambo Hlangana. When Matambo
Mm.
Hlangana, the parents were like, they have to get married. And when they get married, imagine marrying someone who doesn't even know how to make a bed.
Hey.
So yeah, that story. It's a beautiful love story. Despite the many challenges they face as a young couple in their marriage, the
Mm-hmm.
cheating, the whatever, the loss of their child,
Mm.
everything worked out. So it was a beautiful love story. That's why it's close to my heart, and I'm rewriting it. I was like, I would love to see this in print. That is the one book that is very close to my heart. The
We
Imperfect
cannot
Makoti.
wait to read it. We cannot wait to read it.
Yes.
And the perfect Makoti. The title
The
isn't there another
imperfect, imperfect.
with that isn't there another book with that author? Just research. I think there's another published book with that title.
The imperfect Makoti. The imperfect, not
Oh, is it?
perfect.
Not perfect.
Imperfect.
Okay, okay.
She's not perfect. The imperfect Makoti. The perfect
Um,
Makoti. I think it's a cookbook. Is it not a cookbook? Yeah, I think it's a cookbook. Is it not Lazy
oh,
Makoti?
I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know, but I've
yeah.
seen the title in the streets, the Facebook streets. I've seen the title
I
in the
know.
Facebook streets.
If it's the book streets, it might be my book, The Imperfect Makoti. Because at the
Okay.
time I didn't want people to know who I was. I just wrote it and people did not know it was me. So if you saw it on the Facebook streets, it might be my book. As I said, I wrote it between 2018 and 20. It is the mess that I go back and laugh at now. Hence I'm rewriting it now.
Yes, you can have the same book title as others, but yeah, you can.
But
But
it's not for
it's
me
not
it's
nice
not.
to see your book title with
Yeah.
somebody else. Ukuthi manje
Unless you
sengibona
do,
uRudzani
yeah,
senge-married at
unless you don't
16.
know or it's a
Yeah.
coincidence. Unless you
It's
don't know
not cool.
it's a coincidence, but it's not
Yeah.
nice. I
And
wouldn't do
then
that to
now
a fellow author.
and then now I have a family matriarchy published book. Yabona. It won't be cool, especially if you know each other.
Yeah,
Um, what
yeah.
is what is the one thing you wish you knew before you started writing?
That it's gonna take time and lots of patience to 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 reach your goals that you have set for yourself. Because as an author, I have my own set goals. So I wish I knew that it's gonna take time and more patience, but I've learned to deal with that things do take time and they do gradually come work out. So you'll find that, as I said, I even made mistakes because I was impatient. I wanted that book out there yes in like
Mm.
yesterday. So you see, I've learned as I'm growing over the years and as I'm maturing as an author, I've learned to be more patient and I've learned to be more, to understand that things take time, you know. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
what I wish I knew. Cause you get in, you just want over. You have that mentality, or everything will just be fast, fast, fast like that. But no, it takes time. I'm learning. I've taught myself to learn that everything takes time.
You want to publish today and become a bestseller tomorrow.
Yeah, today, that kind of stuff. So yeah.
um,
Kante, it takes time to build your brand and find your people, your tribe.
mm.
Mm.
Who is the one author you wish to trade places with?
One author I wish to trade places with. I'll say Sunyat.
Why, if I may ask?
I just love her. No, it's that's that thing where your spirit just, I don't
Mm.
know her, but my spirit just likes her, There's nothing specific about it. It's just that I like her. I like Auntie Sushi.
And
Nothing specific.
she
She's
writes very beautifully. Her work is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, I know. The reason I don't want to say Shara's because I feel like everyone knows it. Sue is there. I know. So that's why I'm saying, yeah. So
Who is the one author you wish to collaborate with?
if there was an author I would love to collaborate with, let me think. Yeah, Cynthia Jell, the author of Happiness is a Four-Letter Word. Yeah,
It's a
because
happiness what?
the book, the happiness, you know that movie, Happiness is a Four-Letter Word.
Mm-mm.
It's this
I don't.
girly. I think stories are more inclined with my, cause I've got a similar book that I'm also writing. That is a girly, a rom com, a girly kind of. So it's her vibe. I feel like it's her vibe. So I would love to collaborate with. I will collaborate with her.
Lovely. Um, what is the one genre you have written that you hate?
Hmm. Not those gangsters. Those first popular gangster
The
in love with a
17-year-old
gangster.
gangsters.
Yeah, the 20-year-old in love with a gangster. But mine, I think the one that the first, it was the first, I was influenced by Facebook. Facebook was doing Us Authors dated that time. But I think mine was not that bad.
It wasn't
You
that
know,
bad.
the guy owns 15. I know, because it was the father. I made the father more richer than the son. My character didn't have, didn't own a hospital, didn't own, you know,
Why so good?
my he didn't own. He was not a CEO of his own company and owned 15 hospitals and a restaurant and a hotel at the same time. So it wasn't that bad. He worked for his father, and but the father was rich. So yeah.
Yeah, ne? But
But
I love
maybe
I
one day
love the
I'll
gangster
revisit the
genre.
book.
I love it. It's
Yeah,
it's
maybe
it's
one
my
day. Yeah, it was a nice book, but maybe one day I'll revisit. As I'm revisiting The Imperfect Makot, maybe you'll get to it. It is also a love story between Lexi and Laz, eh? Alexander
you
and
forgot
what's his
you
name?
forget your people.
Yeah, those were my characters. So those were my characters.
Carrie M
The
says I
title,
live.
Manta.
Carrie
Yeah,
M says
just someone is asking for the title. It was my hidden secret, and believe me, it was a mess. I go back at it and laugh, but I did rewrite it. It's in my laptop. I don't know if it will ever be published, but I rewrote it, and I'm still working on it now that I'm maturing as an author. So maybe one day you will see my
mhm.
hidden secret with a different title. They do end up in a polygamous relationship. So, yeah, in a polygamous marriage. So, maybe one day you will see it.
Makonko says publish it and I'll read it.
No, I'll publish it. I'll publish it. I just have to publish the ones that are sitting in my laptop now. I've got about, yeah, two that are sitting in my laptop. So maybe I'll visit it. But it is also in my laptop. I just have to rework one or two things. As I said, I reworked on it. I just have to rework one or two things again.
Okay. What is the one thing you wish people knew about you?
One thing people knew about me. Okay, let me think what I wish people knew about me. That I'm not, that I, one thing I wish people knew about me. That I am not, one thing I wish people knew about me, now that I'm thinking about it, is that my heart doesn't define who I am, you know? Because here, especially, I've noticed a trend that goes on, especially back here at home in Limpopo. People automatically think maybe because I'm short, I'm sort of like mentally retarded. Or when someone speak to you as if they're speaking to a kid, or trying to talk to you in a sarcastic way and think that you can't figure it out. So imagine this other day I was walking, just coming from collecting my books. My sister had asked, because I had copies to deliver and they were in Joburg. I asked my sister to deliver them. So
Mhm.
I was coming from getting those copies from someone who was coming from Joburg. So this other person asked me, how was school? I was puzzled because she was asking me the name of the school. I will not say, it's for disabled people. I was like, why are you asking me that? I don't go there. Neither have
Mm.
I been there. She was like, no. She was instantly embarrassed and was like, no, I thought you teach there. What, I was confusing you for a teacher. But I could see that no, she thought maybe I was disabled or something. I even showed her my books. No, I'm an author. This is what I do. I'm not mentally retarded, because I do notice I'm older, and I do tend to notice one thing about me. I know how to read the room. I might not say anything. I will keep quiet, but
Mm.
I will observe you, learning you. And once I keep quiet, one thing about me, if we're in a room and I keep quiet and I don't laugh or do anything, you should be worried, because you are speaking and I'm listening. I will respond, but not in a way that this bubbly fun way that I'm doing right now. I'll respond, but you should be worried because I'm reading you. And once I get home, those things come. I recollect, or what
Mm.
was going on, what was going on, what was going on, what did she mean by this? So I observe. I tend to be more of an observer. I might let it slide and not say anything because that's me. Sometimes that's why I had a lot of anger issues when I'm growing up. A person will do something to me. I would keep quiet and not know how to uh, express my feelings. But once, as I was growing up, I learned, because once I kept whatever I bottled inside, but the day that I snap,
Mm.
I will give you a piece of my mind and I will go crazy. And people will tend to think that I'm crazy. That it's not just a 1 day thing. I've been bottling
Mm.
up, counting, because even with my siblings, I used to do that. One will do something to me, I would keep quiet. Do it again, and I
Mm.
will keep quiet. Do it again. The fourth time, I will recount. That day you did this and this and this, I kept quiet. That day you did this and this and this and this, I kept quiet. I will count everything. But as I grew up, I learned to be more open about my feelings and how I'm feeling. Hence, I've got these great relationships that I have right now with people. So I tell you, I remember when you are maybe sending you a WhatsApp and you don't respond, I send it to you again and you don't. I do tell you, no, please do this. You're making me feel, don't do this. You're making me feel like a less of a human being. uh
Mm.
Rather do this and this. I do come up with suggestions. I just don't. I come up so that we don't hate each other. I don't want to hold you by a grudge. I do tell you, no, I don't want to have a grudge against you. I want us to have. In a way, I'm trying to say I'm more open now. So hence I'm
Mm.
more patient with people. The anger issues are, as I found my voice, as I learned how to express how I'm feeling at the time. I've learned to I've built great relationships with people.
Lovely. And I'm sorry for everything that has happened so far. I don't know why we human beings are the way that we are sometimes. And I'm also happy on the part that you no longer hold things in, you are able to communicate them. That is a huge thing, having to have somebody
Yes,
hurt you and actually express how they hurt you and fix whatever relationship that is a huge thing. Um
yes.
moving on to okay, you can go ahead and say what you want to say.
No, I wanted to say, I've learned to. I'm one person that doesn't go hold grudge. If I hold a grudge against you, not that you have hurt me to the core, and I tried talking to you, and it was unresolved. I can never say I've got a grudge against anyone. There's only one person that I've got a grudge against. This in this entire world. I will not divulge you, but I tried to resolve and tried being nice. It's it was like
Yeah.
so. Hmm.
Okay. On to the next question. Do you believe in separating the artist from the art, and why? If you
Yes,
do, why?
yes, because some of the characters that we as authors or artists come up with, they are out there. You know, they will do things that I, as Rudzani, I find that I, as Rudzani, I'm shy, reserved, and my character, like the Enelo character, Enelo is nothing like me. But yet I wrote her. But someone can just come and say, but he's just like Enelo. Enelo, and Enelo is different from Rudzani. Enelo is hard. She's hardcore. She's strong. She's strong. Also strong. That's where the similarities end. But some of the things she did, I wouldn't do. So I'm just giving Enelo as an example. I'm not saying I hate her. I love her. She's a character but she's different from Roseanne. Hence, I believe that they've got to learn because some of the things she unalived her husband. So you're trying, when you say you are like Adela, you're trying to tell me that I'm also capable of unaliving someone. So I believe it's quite important for us to separate the artist from the art.
Lovely. What are you currently writing?
As I said, I'm rewriting the imperfect Makut. Hopefully, by somewhere towards the year end, I'll be publishing it. Hopefully.
Mm-hmm. We are looking forward to that. What are your goals so far? As in being a writer, what are you hoping to achieve in this writing industry?
I want to write as many books as I can. And I want the books that I am writing as an author to outlive me. I want to write books in such a way that even when I'm gone on this earth, they have left a mark. That's my goal. I want to leave a mark in this world that we live in. I want to write books that will outlive me, not just write books for the sake that I'm writing, moving on. No, I want to write books that will outlive me. Make
Mm,
Rudzani Khashane the name that will be spoken in rooms that I've never been in. The name
mm.
that will be spoken long after I'm gone in this planet Earth. That is my goal.
From your mouth to God's ears.
Yes.
So what are you currently reading?
I've not started reading it yet, but I'm going to be reading how Europe and underdeveloped Africa. I think, yeah. If I'm not getting the title wrong, that's my next read. How Europe underdeveloped Africa. I
Lovely.
think I should
And
be
so
starting
far,
on it during the weekend.
okay. So far, what is your favorite book?
I've got so many.
You can name your
I've
top
got
five. Give us
Azania.
your top five.
Okay. But I'm gonna look cheesy because of your books there are there too. But my top five is The Harvard Wife by Bussy. I've got The Players and Married at 16 by You, which is three books, ne? And I've got this book. I read it a long time ago at high school. The Mind Boy. Yeah, that book is my favorite book of all time. The Mind Boy. And then
Mm.
Mind Boy, it's about Kuma, this character from the rural areas coming to Joburg as a miner to figure life out. So we read it at high school, so I loved that book, Mind Boy. And this book that I read at primary, I think I
Mhm.
was in grade, because I've always been an average, someone who's been drawn towards reading. I think I was in I was in grade seven. Yeah, I
Mhm.
was in grade seven. Cry Softly to Lenene. Yeah,
What was it about?
that's one book. Cry Softly to Lenene, it's about this lady called Tulenene. She was left with her parents were unalived, and she was left with her brother. The brother also got unalived, so she was adopted by this family, a different race from her, white people. So they had this disabled girl named Faye. So they were trying to Faye was not warm because she was still beat. I think she got paralyzed from the accident. Yeah, she got paralyzed from the accident that
Mhm.
occurred while she was with her parents. So she was still bitter. She was still angry. Somehow Tule came into that family and sort of like restored Faye. She became that, when they formed that close sisterly bond. Yeah, so I loved that book too. It's one book I read this years ago at primary in grade seven, but to this day I'll never forget that book. Cry Softly to Lenene. Never. It was an emotional book because they do describe how she lost her parents. I don't remember all the gory details, but I do remember that she had lost her parents when they adopted her, and her brother as well was unalived. So she had no one left when they adopted her. So Faye
Mm.
was also going through her own struggles as well. So and I'm actually still looking for it. I hope my mother still kept, because there's still some books here. I hope my mom still kept it for me.
She must send you the book so that you can show us the title, the cover, and we also find it.
Yes.
What is the one
Mm.
author that you always recommend?
One other that I will always Auntie Sue. My dearest Auntie Sue. I just love Sunyati.
Mm,
Honestly, I don't
valid,
know why, because I only met her once.
valid.
Or was it
Um,
twice? Once or twice, yeah.
what is your favorite series, book series?
Everyone's favorite series. We all know this is the series of the country.
The Shomu
We all
series.
know. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I would love to
Me
say
and
out,
the
but the
Zulu
one series
brothers.
that I would love to try out is the one series that I would love to try and read is A Silent Scream by Busasekile Kumal. I would love to try that. But
Mm.
everyone knows in this country the series of the country, series a country.
The Zulu brothers. Hey.
Yeah.
We are going to be opening up questions for the author from 9 o'clock to half past. So prepare your questions. Um, what is your, I think I've asked most of the questions. Saddest book that you read.
Saddest book that I read.
Mhm.
It wasn't exactly sad, but it wasn't exactly sad, but I find it sad. I also read I also read it at primary, but because it's not sad for someone, but because it's me and I hate seeing innocent people getting hurt.
Mhm.
It's The Innocent Prisoner, Brakwa. But yeah, it's The Innocent Prisoner. It's Brakwa's story. He is, you know how they always warn you not to touch anyone's suitcase at the airport
Mhm.
because of the drug trafficking and stuff. So somehow they set up Brakwa and was sentenced to prison. That story hurt me because I didn't want Brakwa to go to prison for something that he didn't do. That's
Yeah.
just me. I hate seeing people suffer, especially when I know you are innocent, you didn't do it. It breaks my heart, man. It breaks
Mhm.
my heart. Seeing people get hurt for something. So the innocent prisoner Brakwa. Yeah, but in the end, I'm relieved that things worked out for him and his friends were there for him. They proved that he was indeed innocent. So for someone it might not be as heartbreaking because it is a childhood, it's child friendly, but for me, because I hate seeing injustice. I hate
Mm.
injustice and I hate it hurts me to the core, especially when I know you are innocent. If at least there was a shadow of that, but when I know that you are innocent and via kusukela, it hurts me. I hate it, and it makes me. Once I know that you are hating someone intentionally and someone that didn't do anything to you, it breaks me. That's just me. I hate it. It breaks me. So that's why that book, up until today, I also cannot forget it. The innocent prisoner. He was innocent and he suffered in prison. He went to prison. Just that, fortunately, after years that he went to prison, his friends helped him prove his innocence and the culprits were arrested. So, yeah.
Any questions for our writer? We are opening the floor to everybody. You can ask Rudzani any question you would like to ask. Do you prefer standalones or book series?
You mean reading or writing?
Both.
Writing, I prefer standalone because with standalone you write that one book. You write it and you're done with it. And my sister usually discourages me from having series because she'll be like, no, once you try writing the second version of this, it might go down. So I prefer writing writing that one book, that's one standalone, and make it good and memorable. I prefer that. And then reading, if the book is good, the series, because I'm that curious reader once who always wants to know and then what happens. And if you leave me hanging as like uh us sister to always leave us with dry cliffhangers. I find it a bit irritating. I want the next book to know what actually happened to this character.
Makonko is asking, which story did you read and wish that it would have been published? Rudzani, did we lose you? I think we lost her. Network is iqalile. Let's just give her a second to come back, but you can send your questions and then I'll read them all. Let's just give her a second to rejoin. And for those who want to follow her page is Stories by Rudzani Khashane, I think. I can't remember. But yeah, she will tell us her page when she comes back. Hopefully she comes back. We don't know what happened on her side, maybe network or something. But yeah. And it's not here. Let me just check. Yeah, let's give Rudzane a second to join. I don't know what happened and I cannot see her on the live. You are triggered by the network problem. The network problems are fighting with us. See, what must we do? Because every time there is network problems. And even mine, it's switching from Wi-Fi to data.
Sorry.
Hi,
Yeah,
welcome back.
yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry about the network. Yeah. I
Um,
hope you still remember the last question.
yeah, they're here. Which Facebook story did you read and wish that it would have been published?
Sorry?
Which Facebook story did you read and wish that it would have been published?
My unregretted mistake. Yeah,
Not
my
from you.
unregretted mistake. The author. No, not my regrettable mistakes. My unregretted. No, it's not my unregretted
You guys
mistake.
have
It's
so similar
unregretted
titles.
mistake.
It's so similar. Like,
Yeah, no, it's unregretted mistake. It was one of the first stories that I read. So it was about this girl that somehow fell in love with her brother's friend. I don't remember that gangster kind of a love story. Yeah. Which other one did I read? I've been reading a lot of them. Some of even forgotten the titles. Which other one? No, but my unregretted mistake is the one book that I wish the author had published. It was quite a nice read, honestly.
A character you've written that you always have your heart, that will always have your heart, and why?
Okay, a character that Zoe, not Zoe from Thicker Than Water. What happened was I didn't think the Imperfect Makoti will ever get published. So when I wrote Thicker Than Water, there was Zobuhle, which sometimes are referred to as Zone. So I didn't think that the Imperfect Makoti would ever be published. As I said, I was just having fun writing. I didn't even check my grammar. I didn't even so this Zoe character from the Imperfect Makoti, Zoe is wild. She's out there. So
Mhm.
yeah, she's fun. She's a bit of an ad at first glance, but she's intelligent, very intelligent. So Zoe will always be the imperfect Makoti. Zoe will always be the character that is close to my heart.
Is writing for television something you would consider if the right opportunity presented itself?
Yes, in fact, I'm considering going back to school and learning how to do screenwriting, playwriting. I'm, I'm considering going back there to school and studying that. I don't know if it will be a short course or full time going back to school, but I'm deeply considering that because I feel like there's an opportunity for growth there as well for me as a creative.
Any more questions, good people? Any more questions? You can send your questions before we wrap up. Do you have any more questions for Rudzani? Which character from your books was hard to write and why?
As I said, NL was the hardest character for me to write because NL is she's hard. She at surface you will think it's someone that is cold hearted. And I'm not that hard. I'm gentle and soft. So sometimes, I indicated from the at the beginning of this interview, that my editor said that I was making her too stoic because I wanted her to be strong and yet to be that hard, strong, cold, and yet I'm this gentle, shy girl. So it was a bit difficult portraying this hardcore character.
Mm. Would you write a horror story someday?
Yeah, if given an opportunity, I would. I would write a horror because it will be pushing me out of my boundaries because I love doing things that take me out of my comfort zone. Because doing the
Mhm.
same thing over and over again. So, yeah, I would consider writing a horror story someday.
Lovely. Any more questions, good people? Any more questions? Um, you can send them through. What's your favorite book from the Shlomo series?
Naledi is love.
Everybody
Naledi.
loves
Kawe is
Naledi.
my kind of man.
Everybody loves Naledi, Shay. Naledi is
Yeah.
everybody's. Which genre do you
Shlomo,
think?
it would have been my favorite. Oh, you can go on.
No, it's okay.
Should I go
Just go
on
on.
and say what I wanted to say?
Hmm.
Shlomo would have been my favorite, but then the series kinda run Mukhele for me, so and this is
Mukale
Naledi,
was
yeah, it's
always
perfect for
toxic,
me.
Jay. He was always toxic even in the book.
Yeah,
He
but
was
I'm
always
saying,
toxic.
at least in the book, you can make it kind of like dreamy, like the way as another, the way that you can imagine it, it's your imagination. But when you're seeing the visuals, it's something different. You know,
Absolutely.
it. That's why most people loved Michele because it's their imagination and he got away with a lot. So when you watch the visuals, Michele was
Yeah.
like, because when
Which
you read
genre
a
do you
book, you are in your own world. For me,
go ahead?
oh, okay. I was saying for me as an author and as a reader, when I read a book or write a book, I'm in that world. I'm in my own world, my imagination. I use my imagination, my own. But when I watch visuals, that's no longer my imagination. It's being portrayed. I'm watching it, so hence I'm saying Shlomo would have been my favorite, but
Yeah, it's understandable. Which genre do you think you can never explore and why?
a thriller. A thriller because no,
Similar to you, to
not
you.
that. Huh?
What's
No,
a thriller do to
as
you?
I was reading your book, Kathy, the players, ne? Your
Mhm.
Zendaya. It's Zendaya. The players is this one that I'm yet to read, and I'm coming for it. As I was reading the Zendaya, I was like, how does she come up with this? The way you had executed it, like, how could never come up with this type of
Research.
thing? What was going on in Kathy's mind? What was
I
going
don't
on? As
know.
I recently read your book, so I was like, it's a thriller. So I was like, why? Why? And you, I was shocked at every turn. So you made me scared to go to. Yeah, I've got
Don't be
tough
scared.
competition if I do decide to come.
Don't be
You
scared.
said the bar very high. I don't want to lie.
Don't be scared. Can you send
So,
through your question?
maybe I'll try it out.
You can just try it. You know, Facebook gives you the chance to try out new things. Just go to Facebook and fail there if you fail, but you fail, you would have tried. Anyone who can write thriller is a
Mm.
mastermind of some sort. We can do a Bella Chow money heist. We think that big. If you
Yeah.
can bring if you can bring any character you've read about to life, who would it be?
Oh, I've read about to life. And wine.
I'm so
Who
tired.
would it
Yo,
be?
I'm literally yawning. Ooh, I
I'm
am
sorry.
tired.
We are almost at the we are almost there. So the character that because I'm trying to think of a character that I have read that I would love to see come to life.
Most of them have
Ah,
come to
I
life.
would love to see Zendaya. Yeah, I let me be cheesy and say Zendaya because I want to see that 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 hard things those hard things that they were doing come to, especially
You
the
just want to go
training.
to the base. You just want to go to the base for the training. That's all.
Yeah, to the dungeon to go. How go dungeon? How go dungeon?
Listen, Nina.
How way?
Listen, everybody's so crazy about the dungeon. I'm like, guys, like, why is everybody so crazy about? Everybody's like,
No, I
I
think it
love
will
the
it will be
dungeon
beautiful
part.
to watch. I think it would be beautiful to watch even the Beast and Nina, it would be beautiful, honestly, to watch and see. Hey, yeah.
Mm. I
Suddenly
really
so
hope
is
we get to
laughing at me.
turn it into a movie one day.
Yeah,
I
it will
really
be
hope.
awesome, I'm telling you.
And if there's one person that I would like to see come to life, it's also Beast. I would really love to see that
Yeah,
that
Beast.
man that everybody's
Because
so
I,
crazy
I
about.
already, I also have an image of him with this gray beard, with this gray beard. So,
The hot forefather, the hot ancestor.
yeah,
He was a hot ancestor.
yeah.
So, guys, do you guys have any more questions? I am literally hanging by the thread. Today I'm exhausted. It's a busy week and I'm just getting started. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Do you guys have any more questions before we close? Do you have any questions for Rudzani? Rudzani, you've been lovely. Thank you so much for joining us once more. You have been very lovely.
And thank you for hosting me. Thank
You
you
guys
for
have
hosting me also.
any more questions for Rudzani? And don't forget to buy her books. What is your Facebook page?
It's my Facebook page is Rudzani Khashane Rosemary.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm laughing because they're Annalise is threatening me or there's no more Ghana for me.
We are going
Because
together
I
to
want to
Ghana.
see the dungeon.
We want to go. We want to see the short guys. We
We
want
went,
to see the short guys.
I want to see Ghana. Yeah, Collis. The sorry.
Any
The
more questions, guys?
sorry.
Before we wrap up, um, ask Rodzani any question you would like. You have 13 minutes. Yeah, you have 13 minutes before we wrap up. You cannot cancel Ghana Betun. We all want to go to
No,
Ghana.
Ghana is where we are going.
We want to go. Pendile, you've been quiet these days. What happened to you? You've just been quiet this past few days. Do you remember the very first book you've read?
The very first book, it was in primary, and it got me. I think it got me way excited. I think I was in grade one. It's Maggie the Magic Snake. Yeah, it was called Maggie the Magic Snake. It was about
Mm-hmm.
this nice snake that performed magic. So that was I think that, yeah, that was the first book that I
Is it a
read.
children's book?
Maggie the Magic Snake. Yeah, it's
Is
a
it like a
children's
children's
book.
book?
Yeah, Maggie the Magic Snake. Yeah, it's the first.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the first book that I wrote.
All right. Sanelisi is asking Guti Ghana or the dungeon. You have to choose one. You cannot get both.
I
You
have
have
to
to
pick
choose.
my.
So you want to go to to
Let
Ghana
me
or you
go to
want to go to the
let me go
dungeon?
to Ghana. The dungeon, I don't think I will survive, so let me go to Ghana and find me a tall handsome man.
As a writer, do you think you'd write your own memoir or something? I don't know how to pronounce that.
Yeah, one day when maybe when I'm in my late 40s, early 50s, yes, I would love to write my own memoirs because I will have experienced a lot in life. So right now
Mm.
I'm still a bit too young for that. So maybe when I'm in my late 40s to my early 50s, yeah, I would love to
Apart
write
from writing, what are your other hobbies?
shopping.
You love
I have
shopping.
this little hoarding habit disguised in form of clothes shopping.
Mm. I saw
I'm
that in
telling you,
Emily's
I've got
character.
dresses in my
I was like,
closet.
Rudzani. This is Rudzani. I saw it on Emily's character. Like, this the
Nah.
fashionista. The fashionista. Yay! When she
Yeah,
would wear her
I've
designer
got.
dresses, designer shoes, designer
Yeah,
bags, heaven.
yeah.
Um,
I've got that little hoarding problem.
mm. Any more questions, good people? Any more questions before we wrap up? Going once, going twice. Thank you so much, Rudzani. You have been lovely. It was nice getting to know you. Hopefully, you will join us again in the
Thank you.
future. Which character is more like you in your books?
I'll say Zintle from Thicker Than Water. She's a shy, reserved book nerd. This nerd. So we are in a way not that she's made directly, but in a way I sort of like took some of me and then portrayed it in her character. So Zintla from Thicker Than Water is a lot like me, but I do not take anyone's man, so I do I do not take
You took
anyone's man,
someone's
so
name.
don't come for me.
Yeah. Any more questions, guys? Last night when you guys went to bed, I couldn't sleep. I slept at 1 and then woke up at 6 to work. Yo,
Do you
I
have any favorite Western authors? No. Do you have any favorite Western author? No,
I think more
not
like
so far,
international.
to be honest. Yeah, I want to I want to say, to be honest, no, I've not read any. I'm mostly a local kind of a girl, you know. I mostly read South African books, so no.
Which character of yours was daunting to write about?
Character of man that was daunting to write about. Which let me think. Awongiwe. She's the girl.
Which one?
Awongiwe was a pain in the ass. Bongiwe from the family matriarch.
But she wasn't bad. Wasn't bad.
That girl was a pain in the ass.
Oh,
She's my least favorite character.
Delight is asking
It's
why.
true. Out of all the characters.
Delight is asking why.
No. She, she was just a pain in the ass, especially for Paige. She at at
Mm.
work, she's that girl that loves to compete and cause unnecessary drama. Even when Paige tried to be reasonable to her, she kept on being this pain in the you know what.
And they
So
were doing
yeah.
the same work, so it was sort of like competition of some sort.
Yeah, it was competition for her. So yeah.
Any more questions, good people? 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left. I'm going to swallow you guys the way I'm
You are
yawning.
tired.
Oh, I'm hanging by the thread. What do you struggle the most when writing, e.g., plotting?
What I struggled most with is what can I no now when writing I honestly don't what can I say? I don't have this that thing that I can just pinpoint and say I struggle at this because once I struggle at some at or when writing it's just frustrate me as a whole. So the whole process, nje. But then once I calm down and adapt, there's nothing that I struggle with. I don't.
Lovely. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your engagement. Thank you for your questions for the author. Um, should we give you a second?
No, it's fine. We can continue.
Okay. Thank you for your questions for the author. Thank you for the gifts and thank you for your participation and your being here. Thank you so much. I hope you have a lovely evening. Yeah, the session has been lovely. Rudzani has been lovely. I am sorry on my side, my energy bundles are depleted. So tired. I'm so tired, but yeah, hopefully I will get some rest, which I doubt I will because it's going to be a hectic week on my side. But thank you guys so much for being here and for attending every session. And thank you so much also Rudzani for being here. And yeah, we are glad that today network didn't fight with us. The network didn't fight with us.
The
You have
grannies
been
in Limpopo.
you
The
have been a
grannies
love.
in Limpopo. The grannies in
They
Limpopo
didn't know
took a
that we
break
planned again
today.
today. They didn't know that today we are going to come
Yeah.
again. So they were like, ah, yesterday has passed.
Yeah.
And thank you so
We
much. Thank you.
succeeded.
Yeah. Hopefully we will
Thank
see
you
you
to Kathy
again
for hosting me.
on your next book. We cannot
Yeah, you
wait.
will definitely be seeing me.
Mm.
You'll
Thank you so much.
definitely be seeing me. Thank you,
Thank you so
Kathy.
much.
Bye.
Thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening.